All right, let's talk about your career. It's not a straight line anymore, is it? So how do you possibly navigate all the twists and turns? Well, the answer, and what we're really going to dive into today, is your personal brand. You got to think of it as your digital career compass. Let's get right into it.
I absolutely love this quote from Jeff Bezos because it nails it, doesn't it? Your personal brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. It gets right to the heart of the matter. This isn't about some fancy logo or a clever tagline. Nope, it's your reputation. It is the story people are telling about you, your skills, and the value you bring even when you aren't there to make the pitch yourself.
So, to really understand why personal branding is so critical right now, we have to look at what it's replacing. And that brings us to a pretty bold idea. The traditional resume? Yeah, it's dying.
And this comparison just lays out that fundamental shift perfectly. I mean, what is a resume? It's a static document, a piece of paper, really. You send it out and you wait. But a LinkedIn profile, that is a whole different beast. It's a living, breathing story. It doesn't just list your skills, it actually shows your work, your thoughts, the endorsements you've gotten. It's always on, always discoverable, and it tells your professional story in real time.
And this is a brilliant, real-world example of the problem. This actually happened to a hiring manager. They got a resume for a Python developer. Okay, great. But a quick peek at the person's LinkedIn profile showed they were actually working as a web developer. The resume was already out of date, but the profile showed what they were really doing. Trust me, this happens all the time.
This all leads to this crucial concept called living social proof. A recruiter doesn't just want a list of your qualifications anymore. They want to see you in action. And your LinkedIn profile gives them that proof. It's through your projects, the endorsements from colleagues, and even just the way you talk about your own work. It is so much more convincing than a simple bullet point on a PDF.
Okay, so we've established the problem. The resume is fading out. Now, let's get into the solution. Building a really effective brand is actually simpler than you might think, especially if you use this powerful three-part system. And here it is: presence, distribution, and content. You can just think of it as PDC. These are the three pillars that hold up your personal brand. If you get these right, you are going to build the kind of visibility and trust that just opens doors. So let's break each one down.
First up, presence. This is your foundation. This is ground zero. And you need to ask yourself honestly, if a potential employer Googles your name right this second, what are they going to see? Is it professional? Is it clear? Your profile picture, your headline, your summary, all of it needs to tell a simple, coherent story about who you are and what you do. The goal is dead simple. If they can't find you, they can't trust you.
Next up is distribution. Look, having a great profile is wonderful, but it isn't enough if nobody ever sees it. Distribution is all about getting your message out there. And notice the key point here. You do not need 100,000 followers. You just need the right 1,000. And you get there by showing up consistently, engaging with other people in your field, and adding your voice to the conversation.
And finally, we have content. This is what gives your brand its substance, its value. And the key here is authenticity. You don't need to create some viral hit. Just pick 2 or 3 core topics that you know really well and share your genuine experiences. Share tips. Talk about mistakes you made. Post about lessons you've learned. Because good, valuable content brings you reach. And reach is what brings opportunities right to your doorstep.
So we have the what and the how. The next obvious question is where? Well, for professionals, there is one digital stage that matters way more than all the others.
You know, this piece of advice is something I think so many of us can relate to. It is so easy to be known for your great work internally, inside your own company. But real career growth, the kind that really accelerates your path, often happens when people outside your company know the value you bring. This is the big shift in thinking we all need.
And this is exactly why LinkedIn is that stage. Just think about this number for a second. Over 1 billion members. This isn't just another social network. It is the digital center of the entire professional world. The people you want to reach, the recruiters, the collaborators, the industry leaders, they are already here.
We've all heard this classic quote, right? It's been a cornerstone of career advice for decades. And for good reason. It's absolutely true. The connections you make have real, tangible value. But in today's digital world, there's a modern twist to this old idea.
And here's the twist. This is the crucial update for our times. It's no longer just about who you know. It's about who knows you. Think about that. It's not about the names in your contact list. It's about being the name that pops into someone's head when an opportunity comes up in your field. That kind of visibility isn't vanity. It's currency.
Now that we're all fired up to go build our brands on LinkedIn, let's just quickly cover a few common traps. Because honestly, knowing what not to do is just as important as knowing what to do. So here are some of the biggest pitfalls. First, trying to be everywhere at once. Just don't. You'll burn yourself out. Pick one platform and show up regularly. Which brings us to the second one, being inconsistent and just disappearing for weeks at a time. The next two are about being real. Don't just share the success stories, the highlight reel. People connect with the real journey. And always, always, write for actual people, not some mysterious algorithm. And finally, it all comes back to clarity. If a stranger can't figure out what you do in 5 seconds, your profile just isn't working.
So let's end on this one crucial thought. Whether you've been actively building it or not, you already have a personal brand online. It's out there right now, speaking for you 24/7. The only question is, what story is it telling?